And first up on the show, we're going to be talking about a concert that's coming up at St. John's Anglican Cathedral.
That's right. It's called Memories and a Mistletoe, featuring Martin Janowski and Henry Roselle.
She tied you to a kitchen chair, she broke your throat, she cut your hair.
As well, Pat Thompson will join us, and he's going to be talking about Sailor Moon.
What's up with Sailor Moon? You know, it's...
I've been missing it for years. Where is it? How come I can't get any Sailor Moon?
But Sailor Moon, you said they've come up with some new editions? Or what's special about this new
Well, what's
book?
happened, it's been gone for a long time. Nobody had the license.
A little-seen Canadian film called Meet the Navy.
Meet the Navy, and a real find from the 1940s. It's been restored by a Saskatoon filmmaker and is playing at the Broadway, and we'll bring you a little preview of Meet the Navy. So we'll get to that along with the weather. Saskatoon, yeah, we're expecting a 30% chance of precipitation, risk of freezing rain, 4 degrees and -2 tonight.
Don't expect any major changes to the Saskatchewan government in the coming months.
So now it's back out again, Sailor Moon. It's huge, it's fun, it's exciting. No, I haven't read it.
Like old war movies?
I do.
You like musicals?
I love
Well, then you are going to love Meet the Navy. Let's take a look. That's right, Meet the Navy, and I guess we're meeting the Navy. Hey, Captain Stubing, it's the Love Boat. Sergei Romanoff, filmmaker here in Saskatoon, is technical assistant on Meet the Navy. Stacy Muller. So first of all, Sergei, where did this film come from, and why haven't we seen it in like over half a century?
It was shot across Canada. It was shot in Halifax. It was shot in Elstree, England. It was a recap, a story.
Was it made just towards the end of the war or middle of the
1946 is when the movie was made. It was made by a Hollywood producer.
Okay.
Now, it all started in '43 when people responded to an ad, and they came to the audition and they got their positions in the show, and then they were told, you have to join the Navy.
I'm an actor, singer, dancer. I'm a triple threat, and you're also a bosun. Okay, moving on. Okay, wild. So people were recruited into the Navy to get into this film, and then it was made and then disappeared, essentially?
Yes, it disappeared because it never was released to Canada. There was an argument going on between the producers. It was released to the United States.
Really?
And it was worn out in the United States. And when the producer finally passed on, the master film got shipped to the NFB. And the NFB were wanting to do the movie in the first place. So they're having an inaugural event to get that film back.
Okay, fair enough then. Stacey, let's talk about some of the technical issues that came with restoring this film so people could actually see it.
Oh, we haven't restored it yet.
Oh, okay. Well,
that's what he's on board for, is to help us get it restored.
We are actively trying to, though. Basically, what we've got, we can't unfortunately show the original print, the film print, because we've only got one, and we don't want to degrade that. We don't want to. We want to preserve that. Okay. But fortunately, Sergei's acquired a film to digital video transfer, and what we've done is, so far, we're looking at issues of, what I would call interlacing, but it's kind of a boring.
But so what do people see at the Broadway Theater when they come there? They're still going to see a big screen production.
Yeah.
It'll look like film.
We're trying to make it look as best as we can from that the digital copy, if you will, and try to make it look as filmic as possible.
Is that the biggest issue, the fact that there's only one and you really can't mess with it too much in terms of trying to put this back together?
Well, yeah, because it was never properly transferred, and when it was transferred, it was done with old technology.
Okay.
So we've got a lot to do. Oh, I got to tell you about this crest.
Okay.
King George VI gave this crest to my dad when he was in the lineup doing the handshakes during the the royal performance.
Okay.
at the Hippodrome.
Okay. And it was of Meet the Navy? Your dad's in Meet the Navy?
Yes, he is. He's one of the, he does the Slavic segment.
Okay.
Where he's got all the Cossacks and he plays the balalaika.
Ivan Romanoff is.
Ivan Romanoff, yeah.
And so, as a kid, did you know that this movie existed and sort of wondering where the heck is this
He used to
film?
talk about it all the time.
Yeah.
And he used to recreate some of the scenes. I mean, just a little kid. Oh, my dad's being funny, you know. But it's later on, it all started to come together. And in March of this year, the movie suddenly appears on YouTube.
Okay.
And I did some research and finally got a copy of the thing and found out all this history, that it wasn't even available in Canada.
That is amazing. And well, I'm not sure we're going to be able to show that, but we can tell you that we have got you've got 2 more screenings. There's 1 more screening tonight,
7,
and then tomorrow night at the Broadway Theatre. Will that be a 9 o'clock?
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock show. Meet the Navy. I tell you, it's. I think it's going to be a real gem. And exactly, it's all singing, all dance, and I think people will get a really interesting insight into. Hey, you know, part of you know the propaganda of the Second World War, and they might come out humming a tune. So, gentlemen, thank you so much for being here, and very excited to see this show on.
That's what we're here for.
Thank you, Jeff, very much. Thank you, Jeff, very much.
You bet, Stacey. All right, we'd also like to remind you about the Saskatchewan, Saskatchewan Jazz Festival artist applications. They are being accepted until January the 6th. This is for next year's jazz.